Martin goes first, because he has to follow up. So, what are we going to do with you? Siddhartha, how is the meditation? Is it helping? Fasting?
Yes, the proper drowsiness is rarely comes from fasting. So the awareness is very short from awake until sleep. Usually there is no trouble with drowsiness. A little bit lethargic sometimes, but I expect worse on the day 1 and day 2.
Yeah.
But it seems it's just my fear. So actually nothing really tormenting in a sense of pain or stomach or that problem.
I mean, there will be no pain or stomach, there will be just a feeling of hunger that is unpleasant on the first and second day. That's all. And that is an unpleasant feeling. But I mean, there's no pain, no real pain, when you fast. So, I mean, for you, it seems to be good. Yeah? And how is your calm? Is it now getting better?
Calm, yes, it's getting better now. Both in walking and sitting. And I sometimes get frustrated with kilesas.
Good.
I mean, I listen a lot to your talks. Your talks is the ultimate cure in walking meditation when things get rough. So I always rely on talks. And I remember how your analogy on boxing, and I felt sometimes got knocked out. Sometimes they started by triggering lots of thoughts, making it very difficult to calm. But when the calm stays, then they no longer rely on thoughts, but they rely on pain, conjuring the pain. And sometimes I get knocked out by the pain. Sometimes I get by the next round. I'm just okay. Last time I got knocked out. This time I try to be better. And then they comes up with another restlessness. So I don't know why the body just keeps moving. There is no tremendous pain, but I just cannot calm the body down.
Restlessness is much more difficult than anything else. Yeah? Restlessness is it's really a problem. But restlessness just means that the mind is all over the place. So you just try for five minutes to concentrate on a subject that you are interested in, and then the mind automatically calms down, and the restlessness is gone. That is, I mean, for most people, because suddenly, I mean, you're very good in meditation, you're calm, and you have lots of energy, and then you get out of meditation, and suddenly this restlessness overcomes you, and the mind goes all over the place, yeah? And then to bring the mind back to one point, that is difficult. Yeah. But I mean, how did we learn to walk? Try. Yeah. It's just like Lungda said, I like this example, You go into the boxing ring, you're knocked out, the moment you get aware of it, you go back into. Yeah. Okay, so. You?
For me, more or less, in terms of kilesas, I think it's almost the same like Siddhartha. So I feel like, it gives something and then it's like, okay, I bear with it, it goes away and then comes another thing and then until I fed up, like, can you stop for just a moment? I mean, I can feel that the analogy that you say that class keeps nagging you, and I can feel it. Okay, can you stop just for a while? Yeah, I can feel it. So, and especially I feel if after I can get the calm in one session, and then for the next one, usually it gets very difficult.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it normally happens, during one day, it is going really well, yeah, and then the next day becomes very difficult, yeah.
Yes.
But also sometimes it can happen in the morning, it goes really well, and the evening, I mean, you can't really, seem not to be able to concentrate, yeah. I mean, but that is what we have to go through, yeah. No matter, if we go to shallow water, that is easy to pass through, or if we go through water, where every time, I mean, the water goes to the lips, yeah. I mean, where you swallow the water, yeah. Sometimes it's just difficult, and then it becomes easier, and then it gets more difficult, and it becomes easier, and that's the way it is, yeah. Until in the end, I mean, the heights, yeah, where it is very easy, and the lows, where it is very difficult, become just a little bit and a little bit, yeah, and then it smoothes out, yeah. But that takes years. So don't think, you can do it in 4 weeks. You're leaving anyway soon, or?
Yes.
When?
Saturday.
Saturday. Oh, okay. Why do you stay so short? Or you want to go to Burma? Or? Or where do you want to go afterwards? Burma. She was there 3 months, huh? Yeah, I mean, it is very hard work, Lungta Mahaprabhu says it also. There is no harder work in this life than to practice. Huh? I mean, if you only practice for 2 hours a day, I mean, it's an easy job. Yeah? But if you practice for 12 or 16 hours a day, yeah, that is where you really get results. Yeah? It's just like in your work, you work for 2 hours and I mean, the next day you come back and nearly, I mean, you really have to redo it. Yeah? But it seems to be fun because it's not too long, and the kilesas, okay, 2 hours, no problem. We still have 22 hours, to pain you, to nag at you. Huh? But 12 hours, 12 hours is a very good, it's a very good start. Yeah? Yeah, that's good. You see the nagging of the kilesas, and they don't let go. You can tell them, please, I'm fed up with you. Yeah, they won't let go as long as you don't, put measures in it. Huh? So we constantly have to go back to the Buddha. Yeah? We constantly have to go back to the Buddha, or then, once the mind gets calm, you start to do investigation. And in the beginning, investigation seems to be more interesting. Yeah? But there are different results because we get tired, with the investigation. With calm, we get calm and happy. Yeah? With investigation, we do start to see things. Yeah? When you open up the body, what do you see? I mean, it's not something that you like to see. Oh. We don't even like to see the things that come out of the body. Yeah? Now imagine, you're looking inside the body. Huh? We like the things that go on the body or in the body, yeah? I mean, like food and drinks and things like that, or water, that goes outside of the body, or clothes, yeah? But we don't like the things that come out. We don't like the sweat, we don't like the poos, we don't like the blood, and we don't like the shit, yeah? Why? That is investigation that is the starting point of investigation of the body. But are you doing your daily reflection? In the evening, trying to remember what happened in the morning, what happened during meditation session. Huh? That is the start of investigation. I mean, it's just called reflection. Yeah? we don't investigate anything, but it is very important that we do that every evening, yeah? I mean, be it early in the evening or later in the evening. What happened when I woke up, yeah? What kind of thoughts were there? What did I do then? You know, what kind of thoughts accompanied me or memories accompanied me there? And just to look. We don't want to judge if it was good or bad, yeah? And especially if we get in a conversation, yeah? Or if we get in action, what made me do this, yeah? And if we do this reflection moment by moment, just looking, yeah? Just like you see a movie, just, internal movie, yeah? Without any comments, yeah? I mean, no sound, yeah? Just seeing the situation, yeah? And seeing the thoughts and the memories that accompany the situation. Then you can understand why you do the things that you're doing. What is the trigger, yeah? I mean, a lot of action, what is the trigger for it? Yeah? When you go to the toilet, what is the trigger? Dukkha. Yeah? But sometimes it's not dukkha. Sometimes it's boredom, yeah? We just want to have a rest from the meditation. It's so difficult, we just go and drink something or we go to the toilet, yeah? That's also dukkha, yeah? Boredom, or restlessness. Yeah? Yeah? And that's why it is very important. I mean, try to start it from today on, so that you get an idea, so that you can still ask questions on Friday, how to do it properly. Yeah? I mean, you listen to the talks where I explain it, yeah? And I also explain that it is important. But the kilesas don't like to do it. Because that's the way how we can see through the techniques that the kilesas use against us. That's why it is really important. Yeah? This technique of daily reflection. What happened this morning? What did I do then? What happened then? What did I think? When I was eating. Yeah, just looking at the meal. Yeah, and then you will realize you are very mindful. As long as the food is there. Yeah, and then you see. When you look at the food, already the plants what you eat. Is coming up. Yeah? And then you start eating, and then there's poops, no sati. They're just shuffling it. And already the plan was made before. How much of this, how much of that, yeah? And we don't see it. Because we don't use this technique of reflection. Yeah? We don't have that sati yet, that we see it at the time, it's happening. That's why we need this reflection in the evening or in the late afternoon, yeah? To see, well, what is actually happening. Yeah? And it is more important, in our daily life when we are not in a monastery and when we are not practicing all day long. Yeah? But even, during our practice, yeah, it is important to see, what caused this restlessness? You see one session of meditation, okay, it was fine, I stayed with the Buddha. Then the next session, it was so difficult. What came? And then you see, what came before the session. Oh, I really don't want to. And then the session becomes really difficult, yeah? You understand? So do it from today on, yeah? And the kilesas don't like it, that's why it's very hard. It's even tougher than doing meditation, huh? And they try to skip things, yeah?
Even when turning, when you try
Yeah?
to observe while walking, your mind just want to skip this part.
Yeah. They just want to continue in their tread, yeah? It's just like a treadmill. The moment they get into a treadmill, they love it, because then the thoughts and memories can come in, and you're still doing the things. Yeah? It's called, in English, it's called daydreaming. Yeah? We do things, yeah, but we think about other things. And that's what will cut it down. Yeah? You will see it, actually, what is happening and why you're doing the things that you're doing. So it is most important in our life.
I did the reflection when I remember, but then when I did the reflection, I only can get the big picture.
Yeah. It is just like learning to walk, yeah? I mean, in the beginning, I mean, if you don't remember, then skip to the next thing that you remember. Yeah? And then skip to the next thing that you remember. Yeah? Don't try too long, yeah? Because then that induces thinking, yeah? We just wanted to know, there's just one intention, we want to know what happened then, yeah? If nothing comes up, skip to the next, yeah? What do you remember next? What do you remember? And it is also a training of memory, a memory we do need, yeah? It's a very good training of memory, yeah? I mean, if in the beginning, yes, it's just a big picture, yeah? But if you do that daily, it becomes more and more clearer, yeah? And in the beginning, it might take 1 or even 1.5 hours to go through the whole day, yeah? But later on, it is like a film, yeah? 5 minutes, you see everything, yeah? But it's just through training, yeah? Everything, we need to train, yeah? It's nothing that we can learn by reading a book. It's a training, yeah? And it is important, very important. So, do it if you remember, yeah? I mean, I had people, I told them, it was 10 years ago or something, and he said, I was really keen, and while he was here in the monastery, he did it, yeah? And then I told him, when he went back, don't forget it. So, what did he do? He put it on his desk. I have to do my daily reflection, yeah? And 3 weeks later, until he came back a year later, he forgot it. Even though it was written on his desk. Then he said, next year, I put it on my mirror in the bathroom. He remembered for 3 weeks, and the rest of the year forgot it. You see it, and nothing triggers. Yeah? That is the point, that's why the kilesas don't like reflection, because it will show us how they work.
When I think about daily reflection, the first thing is I don't want to do it. Just that's the thought.
After 5 years, yeah? Huh? You don't forget it?
Forget. Every week I have the thought I should do it.
And then why don't you do it immediately?
And then there is the second thought, I really don't want to do it. And sometimes I do it, sometimes I...
Yeah, that is the problem. Because it really, it is so helpful, especially if we live in the worldly life, to see our communications with others. We see what is going on. Yeah? Why do we communicate in a certain way? Why do we say the things we say? Yeah? We see that very clearly. Yeah? And it shows us, it shows us our intentions. Yeah?
Sometimes it's easier in the life to do it because we have more repair. Because here it's very quiet, so to have repair
it is. Yeah, that's why you have to focus on one session of meditation, and then, why did I stop meditation? Just that, brings a belief. Huh? Then Alex. Just that, why did I, okay, morning 9 o'clock, something like that, after the meal, I was doing sitting meditation, and then I stopped, yeah? But why did I stop? Then just ask the question, why did I stop? What happened, yeah? What happened at that time, yeah? And then what did I do? Oh, I did this and I did this, and then, I need to meditate, 1 hour later, or 1.5 hours later, oh, I'm so tired, I need to rest a little bit. All these things we see very clearly, yeah? You don't go yet into the session, you have a picture, you see yourself sitting, and about, was I concentrated, not concentrated, that's enough, and then go to the next. Why did I stop, yeah? What did I do then? And then the next session, yeah? How did I enter? What kind of mind state was I in when I entered the next session? And so on. It's really helpful. Huh? Why can't we do it? The kilesas are there, the resistance, yeah? And the kilesas are always resisting something if it is useful to undermine them. They don't resist anything that is play. And this kind of resistance we have to fight.
I have
or I skip before I fall down, or I just...
You can do it twice a day. Yeah. And do it in the afternoon, and then do it in the evening. It doesn't matter. Yeah. If you can't, concentrate, or in the evening, I'm so tired, I can't do it. Yeah? Then do it in the afternoon. Or before after your shower. Yeah. After your evening shower, the first thing.
Oh, but one thing I always wonder, should I do any samadhi before? Because when I come back...
You do the samadhi the whole day. Yeah? No. You do this. Yes, if you're in the lay life, do it. Yeah. You do first an hour of samadhi, so to get concentrated. But here you do nothing else in samadhi. It's a trick. Yeah. Because then you're quite happy, comfortable, peaceful, and then you don't want to do it. Yeah? Huh? No, you do the whole day samadhi, so there's no need. You see, just the reasons that they bring up not to do it, shows how important actually it is. To see it, understanding. It would be good, if Tan Richard would do something, to see where his downers suddenly starts to come in. Or what is happening? What are we resisting? And especially if you're upatak, it is very helpful. To see, and we see this resistance coming up. Yeah? Even in our reflection, we see this resistance coming. I don't want to do it. Yeah. And this is something that we can overcome. It's just think, why not? I want to do it. Yeah? If I see the feeling up, I don't want to do it. No, I want to do it. You don't have to do it, but I do it. Yeah? Just like, I remember, it's long time ago, yeah, maybe 30 years ago. I was doing walking meditation in the snow, yeah. Somewhere in England, yeah. Was up and down, after 15 minutes, I don't want to walk anymore, yeah. I want to sit. Yeah. Who are you? Yeah. I want to walk. You don't have to walk, I walk. Huh? And then, 2 or 3 minutes later, came, I don't want to walk. I said, you're grumbling, you can go grumble ahead. If you like it, I walk. Yeah? And it's still, until, it took about 20 minutes, and then suddenly, I said, you enjoy this grumbling, huh? And then I had to laugh, and then it was gone, and then I could walk, for an hour. Yeah? No problem. Yeah? You just say, if you don't like to do it, I do it. Huh? Because the kilesas are not us. That's the principle of anatta. It's not us. And it helps, sometimes it helps wonder. Yeah? But they will find another trick how to catch you. Yeah? But in the beginning it works wonders. Yeah? Oh, you don't want to do it. Oh, I do it. Okay.
Then that knocks the kilesas back, right? But it doesn't disappear forever.
No.
They
They only disappear. The kilesas really disappear only with investigation and with insight. Yeah? Through panya, we can cut the fetters of the kilesas, or we can cut them down. Yeah? But in samadhi, we just push them back. Yeah? It's just like, you have 6 little kids running around constantly wanting something, and then you go in your room, close the room, and they're still out there, You might hear them, but they're far away in your room, you're peaceful. Yeah? When you come out, all these kids, coming and wanting something. Yeah? And the samadhi is only there for taking a rest, for recharging our battery. But to be able to cut the kilesas is the first through investigation. And also reflection already cuts down on the kilesas. Yeah? That's why they don't like it. Once you see their tricks, you don't fall for these tricks anymore. that is already undermining the power of the kilesas, and these kilesas are not so strong anymore. When you see, when you understand over the time, it takes months, or maybe years. You see that you have a habit of doing this, and you watch it, you reflect about it for half a year, and you see this habit has no useful effect. Yeah? It just has a very negative effect. Yeah? And then you stop doing it. Because once the heart understands something that it does is not good to it, it will stop. Yeah? But we have to show the heart that something is not good. And that you already start to do with your reflection. Yeah? When you start investigation, for instance, investigating the body, yeah, then you see something, the attachment of the body gets looser and looser and looser. Yeah? You cut down, it's just like a big tree, and you have just a knife, but constant cutting down, make it so weak that one day it can fall. Yeah? And that is the problem with us, because we want results tomorrow. You just have a knife. You have a huge tree, try, scraping it off. But you have to scrap off faster than the tree can regrow. And most of the time, we scrap and then, so hard work. Wait until it regrows, and then we scrap again. So the power of undermining the kilesas, will cut down on the kilesas. And investigation, especially in investigation of the body, will cut down immensely on the kilesas, on the strongest kilesas of greed and hate. Yeah? Once you see the inside of your body, you're not very likely to overeat. Yeah. You see that kind of mess, this kind of mess, yeah, reflecting our food, this is turned into this inside mess, what's so beautiful about it? But even that investigation of the body, it can take years, or it can even take decades, yeah? Because the kilesas are so strong. But in German we have a saying, a steady dropping drip of water makes a hole into the stone. The water is soft. The stone is very hard. The kilesas are very hard. But our constant effort, will cut down the kilesas. So the steady drop of water, yeah, the steady, our steady practice will cut down on the kilesas. Okay? So all what we need to do, or all what we should do or need to do is, constantly cutting down, yeah, cutting down. Not giving in the kilesas is one thing, yeah. They want this and they want that, say, okay, go and get it, but I sit here and meditate. They don't, their power, the power of the kilesas is their suggestions. Huh? Let's go and have something nice, let's have a nice break, let's drink something or smoke a cigarette or whatever. Yeah? That's their suggestion. If you say, okay, go, smoke. I don't smoke, I sit, go and continue my practice, or go drink, or go to the toilet. I sit here, yeah? You can go. If we agree, yeah? I gave a talk about, I think it was in Malaysia, yeah? About the CEO, yeah? Who is sleeping behind his deck, and the kilesas constantly, yeah? Give him, papers to sign, and he says, okay. Yeah? The moment we say okay, that is done. Then it is done. The moment we say, yes, I'm thirsty, I need something to drink, then it's done. If you say no, the kilesas have no power. Yeah? Their power of suggestion is the power that we have to undermine. And that is something that we have to understand. Yeah? We can say no. Yeah? Then they might bring us some pain, or some restlessness, or this or that, and we still have to say, okay, no. Or investigate pain, or investigate restlessness, or investigate boredom. So we should be a CEO because we are the CEO. Yeah? Everything comes to us. Yeah? Without us signing off and say, okay. And you will see that in your reflection. Before you do something, you say, okay. Because if you say no, nothing is happening. Yeah? And that is interesting. Yeah? I mean, we see the work of the kilesas. Yeah? We are the CEO, but we have given up our rights over ourselves to the kilesas. Yeah? We like to sleep, I mean, the kilesas made us so drowsy that all the time we like to sleep, and we just say, yes, okay, go ahead, I like this, I don't like this, yeah. Just go ahead, And we don't bother about it. Yeah? You understand? So we have to cut down, we have to make, and sati is that what makes the CEO awake. Why is that flashing all the time? Sati is that what makes the CEO awake, yeah? And then he sees what he's doing, and then he can stop in time. No, I actually don't want to wake. Yeah? If we don't have the sati, I mean, that means our CEO is awake, and when he is asleep, and whenever he's asleep, he signs everything. Just automatic, automatic reaction, Okay, I like this, okay. Yeah? I don't like this, okay, yeah. But if there's sati, I say, what? Why don't I like this? Yeah? Or what is happening right now? Yeah? Why do I need to do the things that I think I need to do? Yeah? What kind of results do they have? Yeah? And that is what is the importance of the reflection. Yeah? What we do an action, we say something, what kind of effect does it have on us? And we also, when we do an action against somebody or with somebody, we see the results of the action on the other person as well. That's how we learn.
I want to ask, when in pain,
Yeah.
I've tried to investigate once. It is quite concrete since you know where is the pain and you know why I react like that, and
Yeah.
I try to stop, I don't want to react, and those kind of stuff. But then when the boredom comes during walking meditation, for example, it doesn't have any concreteness. I tried, okay, there's boredom, but what is boredom? I don't know, I just don't want to continue walking or just witness, but I don't know where to investigate compared to pain. When pain, you have a very solid target, but when it's boredom,
It's not, I mean, especially, restlessness, but it's a feeling. You have to go deep in, and then just feel the whole body. And then see the feeling of it, and then ask the question, what is restlessness? Without expecting any answer. Yeah? It's the same, I mean, you don't expect any answer, because if an answer is coming, it's coming from the kilesa. Yeah? They say, I'm in pain because I'm not used to sitting like this. Yeah? Or I overstretched. Yeah? Things like that are all nonsense. Yeah? Because, when you sit long enough, the pain will go. Just disappears, just like it appeared, it disappears. Right? Just like any cloud in the sky appears and then disappears. So, no matter what the feeling is. I mean, feelings, investigating of feelings, yeah? I mean, pain is a sharpening knife, yeah? It's a sharpening stone where we whet our knife, yeah? Huh? Where we sharpen our knife. What is it? The whetstone, huh? Where we sharpen our knife, yeah? Once you're a little bit clever with investigating pain, you can investigate any feeling. The first thing, even for pain, you sit down and, you take your whole body in and feel, and just feel the feeling, yeah? Or experience the feeling. How is it like? Yeah? And then when you take the whole body in, I mean, you feel, there's some tension, there's some tension, there's some tension. Then try to relax, until you're really only aware of the feeling of the pain or the feeling of restlessness or the feeling of boredom or whatever. I mean, be it, feeling the fear, yeah? Or sometimes it's a feeling of loneliness, yeah? Or any kind of feeling. Just be with the feeling, accept it. Because these feelings that we cannot accept are always negative feelings. Yeah? But there is no negative feeling and there is no positive feeling. Yeah? There's just a feeling. And we accept it, and then we can ask the question, what is boredom? Yeah? And then we can ask the question again, we feel it again, what is boredom? Feel it again. And the moment you concentrate on boredom, it's gone. The moment you concentrate really on restlessness, it is gone. But the first thing for investigating feeling, you have to accept that feeling and really breathe it in. Yeah? Just like, sometimes you go, when you're in the countryside, and there's some farm, has some pig shit, and it really smells bad, you have tensions, not to breathe in, yeah? Now, what you do is now, breathe in, yeah? You can't avoid it anyway, so breathe it in. That means accepting, an ugly smell, accepting, an ugly feeling. Yeah? And then you can ask the question. If you're opposed to that feeling, there's no way that you will understand it. It's the same with pain. Yeah? If you're opposed to pain, that makes the pain stronger. And in the end, and you will see in your reflection, you always give up. Because you want the pain to go away, or you want the restlessness to go away, or the boredom to go away. Yeah? You don't like it. Yeah? And this liking is another force that actually enhances the feeling. Yeah? Okay?
What about sleepiness?
Sleepiness, there's a trick. Yeah? Think about something, that brings up anger or desire. Yeah? The moment you think about a situation with your parents or with your boyfriend or whatever, or with friends, in school, yeah, something that you can't forget, and you see the anger coming up, and then suddenly you're awake. And when you notice you're awake, you go back to the Buddha. You can do the same thing, with pleasant feelings, but it's more difficult, and it is not advisable in the beginning. But every one of us, had phases, when there was some clash with a father or mother or whatever, or with a friend, especially boyfriend, or girlfriend, yeah. And this we can bring up, yeah. And then it makes us awake. Instantly we would love, to look around that, so it shows us we are not sleepy. We're just bored, and that boredom led to sleepiness, and we didn't realize it. Yeah.
Another question, just now you said that the kilesas power is suggesting. So sometimes I feel that I'm talking to this kilesa,
Yeah.
like resisting, I say I don't want, or
Yeah.
shut up or whatever. So it's like sometimes it feels even like a voice, like
Yeah.
keep nagging. So just ignore.
Either ignore it or just tell it, shut up.
Is it okay to be angry with?
Yeah.
Sometimes I get very angry. Just
Yeah.
shut up.
Yeah. You can be angry with it, but direct the anger towards the kilesas. Yeah? Anger is lots of energy. Yeah? That's why I said, when you're drowsy, bring up anger. It's very energetic, and then take that energy and then put it back into your Buddha. You might have to do it quite often, especially when you really feel tired. Yeah? But that is okay. Until you understand, drowsiness is not necessary. Yeah? Normally monks, who are really keen on practice, they never go to sleep when they are tired. Because they know, it's not real. But the moment they lie down, and I tried it out quite often, The moment I lie down, poops, I'm gone. I mean, I don't even need to, my head is touching the pillow and then gone. Yeah? But when I'm sleepy, I really can't really fall asleep. I think about this, think about that. That means, you're not really sleepy. Yeah? So a real practicing monk, who's really keen, he doesn't go to sleep when he's tired.
So you're only allowed to go to sleep when you overcome the tiredness.
Yeah. And then you will see, you will instantly fall asleep and you wake up, the moment the body is refreshed. And that normally takes 2 or 3 hours, and then you wake up. And then you have to get instantly moving. Yeah? Don't worry about it now, but, just know it for a point of reference, for if you really get going. Yeah? The moment interest starts in the practice, you will do that more or less automatically. Yeah? At the moment, we'll still try to get up to the speed where the meditation will run on its own. And that is the most difficult time. Once meditation or practice runs on your own, you have no interest in anything else. You just interest, just sitting down again. Yeah? Then these things can be tackled very easily. If you try to tackle them now, it's very difficult. Yeah? Yeah? Just get the engine running, just like for a marathon, when you run a marathon, you get the engine running, and it takes 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers in order to run it, and then it's running, and then it runs on its own, and then you can do these things. But the beginning phase is always, just like in German we say, the start is always difficult. Okay?
I would like to ask a question as well.
Yeah?
During the evening, usually the last hours before sleep,
Yeah?
I'm doing sitting meditation.
Yeah?
The awareness is there, but I feel it is very dull. When you recite Buddha or observing the breath, it just doesn't feel like what you are doing during the day. It's very dull. It just doesn't.
Yeah?
Yeah. How to overcome it? The dullness.
Well, try to do some chanting before you do the last meditation.
Chanting.
Yeah. Before the last meditation, when you say, okay, I will go to bed at 11 o'clock, so one more hour of sitting meditation, 10 o'clock, so at 9:30 I start chanting. Just the evening chant. Yeah? It takes 20 minutes, yeah? And then there's lots of energy in this chanting, yeah? And it overcomes the drowsiness, yeah? and then you probably can sit better. Yeah? But it is also because we are not really interested, we just want to get over it. And sometimes, this is better than just to go to sleep. Even if it is dull, it is better, to put a little bit of effort, in the practice, yeah? Because in the long run, it will benefit us. Okay? Ja, kannst du auf Deutsch fragen.
Sollten wir die Körperuntersuchung täglich machen? Oder wie lange kann man da, einmal in der Woche, oder wie schnell wächst der Baum nach?
Du solltest wenn du schon eine gewisse Ruhe hast, und Konzentration hast, und ich kann mir das bei dir gut vorstellen, dann solltest du die täglich machen. Mindestens 1 Stunde, wenn nicht sogar 2 Stunden. It just was asking the question, if we have a calm mind, then we can start investigating the body. Yeah? Starting with the outside of the body, the hair of the head, We like our hair, but when it falls in our food, we find it disgusting. Yeah? When we wash our hair and it falls into the drainage, we find it disgusting. We don't even want to touch it with our fingers. But we constantly touch our hair with our fingers. Why, when it is off, we find it disgusting. That kind of investigation we can do once we can stay put on one object, on the Buddha or on the breath for 10 minutes without being distracted. But then in the beginning, only 1 hour a day, if we get, if we can recharge very quickly and, our energy is coming back very quickly, we can do it 2 hours or 3 hours until it becomes a whole, and it becomes a whole day's work, with the exception of resting twice a day for an hour in samadhi, But that is when our engine is running, So in the beginning, if you can concentrate, do it at least 1 hour, Benny? Understand? Okay. So, Hans, do you have any questions?
No.
No. Minimum 10 hours. Ja? Ja.
Ich gucke ja genau, wie viel ich meditiere.
Was?
Ich gucke ja schon genau, wie viel ich meditiere, deswegen weiß ich, dass das nicht einfach ist.
Ja. Ja. Du, geboren zu werden ist auch nicht einfach. Laufen zu lernen ist auch nicht einfach. Sprechen zu lernen ist auch nicht einfach. Ja. Aber was, ne? Wie sagt man im Deutschen? In Thai they have such a nice thing. Kwam payayam yotinai, kwam somtet yotinan. Wherever our effort is, that's where the results are coming. Du kannst nur versuchen.
Ja, klar.
Ja? Und du solltest mehr versuchen, als du denkst, du kannst. Ja? Und 10 Stunden, du hast immer noch 12 Stunden, 14 Stunden, wo du nicht meditieren musst. Ja? And there is no problem, for you to sit on a chair, But don't sit all the time on a chair. Do a lot of walking meditation.
Ja, I do this and I sit also on a
Cushion.
Ja, ich habe ein Meditationskissen.
Ja.
Die Hälfte hier und Hälfte Meditation.
Okay. You want to learn something, a monastery is a place of practice, You have ample of time, there's nothing else going on, And there are only few monasteries, even in Thailand, where you can do as you please, do as much meditation as you can, Because there are only, there's only one thing. In the morning, there's the food, for the monks, they have to go pindapat, afterwards cleaning up of the sala, and then everything is, open until 4 o'clock, where we do sweeping, And the sweeping is half an hour or an hour, There's just little time, where we interrupted. And everything else is, according you. If you want to go early to bed, it's fine with you. Nobody asks you to stay up, till 1 o'clock in the night. If you want to stay up till 1 o'clock in the night, it's fine. You can do as you please. So if you go early to bed, you get up early. So you go at 9 o'clock, you get up at 1 o'clock. Because it's fresh and cool. In the summer, it is really nice. Because in the morning it is fresh and cool, And in the evening it's still hot, So, but that is up to you, and it can change. Sometimes your meditation runs better in the morning, then you get up earlier. Sometimes the meditation is running better in the evening, then you stay later. There is no time schedule. That's why it's called a university, Nobody, teaches 9 to 10 sitting meditation, 10 to 11 walking meditation. Nobody. It's a freestyle. That's what a university is about. That's why we like university, because we can, according to our effort and interest, we put in, the effort and interest at that time. So if somebody wants to, meditate through the whole night, fine. There's nothing except, every 2 weeks, there is this chanting, of the Patimok, and then chanting and so on. Okay? Ja?
Ich habe mal eine Frage, aber die bezieht sich jetzt nicht darauf.
Ja?
Soll ich Ihnen einfach stellen? Und zwar, es geht mir einfach, sagen wir mal, um die Person von Jesus Christus.
Ja?
Nicht, was der eigentlich Mann war. Also ich weiß ja gar nichts. Also jegliche Quelle ist mir ja irgendwie, ich weiß nicht einfach, würde mich aber sehr interessieren. Ist das zum Beispiel jemand, der einen Strom Eintritt hatte also jetzt aus buddhistischer Sicht, ist das jemand, der überhaupt, oder war das jemand, der überhaupt, oder hat er überhaupt existiert?
Das ist sehr schwierig, weil da einige Leute sagen, der Jesus war ein Buddhist, der war in Indien, hat dort Meditation gelernt, ist zurückgekommen, hat er irgendwo in der Wüste gelebt und ist dann irgendwann erschienen. Ne? Und ob er nun einen Stromeintritt gehabt hat oder nicht, das ist schwierig zu sagen. Aber es könnte sein, ne? Weil einige seiner Weisheiten sind, entweder hat er die aus Indien mitgebracht, ne, oder die kamen durch seine Meditation. Auch hat er gute Fähigkeiten gehabt, also er musste gut meditiert haben. Ne? Der hat ja, wie sagt man, supernatural powers gehabt, ne, übernatürliche Kräfte. Das heißt, seine Meditation muss sehr gut gewesen sein, ne? Und sonst hätte er die nicht. Aber was ist für eine Person, das ist so, es gibt so wenig wirkliche verlässliche Aussagen über ihn. Vielleicht haben sie ihm das alles angedichtet. Vielleicht war er einfach nur eine politische Figur. Und sie haben ihm das alles angedichtet. Weiß man nicht. Aber die Aussage am Kreuz, wenn die wirklich stimmt, ne, mein Gott, warum hast du mich verlassen, spricht nicht von einem Arahant. Ne? Also vielleicht war er in Strom eingetreten, manche Stromeingetretene, die sehen nicht so klar oder die sehen, wenn sie nicht die richtige Unterweisung haben, sehen nicht, dass es jenseits vom Himmel, ne? Man kann ja auch als Mensch in den Himmel gehen und dort leben. Ne? Und dann denken wir, ist ja alles fein, da gibt es einen Gott. Ne? Jeder Himmel hat seinen Gott. Ne? Ist so. Ne? Genauso wie früher jedes Reich hatte seinen Herrscher. Ja, also, und im Himmel, wieso soll es da anders sein, als wir auf der Erde? Ne? Hat er den gesehen, hat er gedacht, das ist es, ne? Und so weiter, und was weiß ich. Ne? Aber die Aussagen, die er gemacht hat, die wenigen Aussagen, vor allem die Bergpredigt, das zeigt von einer Weisheit, ne? Die die meisten Menschen nicht haben. Ne? Aber was mit den Tieren, das hat er nicht verstanden. Ne?
Was er da gesagt hat.
Die Tiere, wie heißt es, die Tiere haben ihr Nest, der Sohn des Menschen hat keinen Platz, wo er seinen Kopf ausruhen kann.
So, mit den Vögeln, wie kann das sein?
Und nicht mit den Vögeln, alles, ne, hat er einen Vergleich gebracht. Ne? Dass es nicht unsere Erde ist, aber er hat gesagt, das ist die Erde der Tiere. Der hat nicht, irgendwie hat er nicht, oder hat es vielleicht nicht gelehrt, weil er gedacht hat, die Menschen verstehen das nicht. Die Tiere, das ist ja auch nur ein Durchgang. Wir waren ja alle Tiere. Ne? Auch die Tiere haben eigentlich kein Haus. Ne?
Ja, vielleicht hat er das auch so genauso gemeint, aber das ist ja alles.
Und es ist abgeändert worden. Das kann natürlich auch sein. Deswegen ist es alles so klar. Und beschäftige dich damit nicht. Wenn du dich mit einem Meister des Christentums beschäftigen willst, dann mit Meister Eckhart. Ja, das ist klar. Wenn wir so nah, und das waren ja auch immer meine Probleme und meine Fragen und so weiter, vielleicht gibt es ja doch einen Gott und so weiter, auch als ich meditiert habe. Und zum Schluss ist das alles weggefallen.
Also diese Frage stelle ich mir nicht. Nicht mehr.
Es gibt Götter. Viele. Es gibt sogar auch Götter der Erschaffung. Ne? Das ist der höchste göttliche Ebene. Der Gott der Erschaffung, der kreiert diese Weltsysteme, aber als Gegensatz hat er natürlich auch einen Gott, der daran sich liebt, die Sachen wieder zu stören, die erschaffen worden sind. Ja? Richtig. Wieso soll es irgendwo anders sein? Schau dir das Tierreich und du siehst das Menschenreich in ihnen. Speziell, wenn du Hühner beobachtest. Oder andere Tiere. Ne? Die kämpfen ständig. Ne? Genauso wie wir. So. No more questions? Ja? What?
I have a question.
Yeah.
But about karma.
Ja? Yes.
And I heard once that for children, it's a little bit different because they still have to learn things.
Yeah.
But it's a question I have because I can remember for myself. The Shita knows.
The what?
The Shita knows if you are doing wrong or if you are
Of
doing
course.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have doubts that it's true that when you are children, you can, because
You can what?
you can do many things that you cannot do when you are adult because you are not supposed to know.
Who sells this kind of crap?
I don't want to say
Yeah.
anything.
No, it's not true. But children, what you can say, children are much more innocent. Yeah, I mean, innocent in the way they don't know how this world is working. Yeah, I mean, think about it. Yeah, you're driving. I mean, you're driving. What is it in French? Two TV. Yeah, I mean, in German we call it Ente. And whatever. Yeah. And then the next time, I mean, your car breaks down, a Renault or whatever it is, or Citroen, these small ones, that wobbly one, yeah. And then, the car breaks down, you put it on the scrap yard, and the next time you buy a Mercedes. I mean, in the beginning, you have to learn how this car reacts, I mean, every time we do something new, we have to learn something, yeah. So it is not only true for children that they have to learn. Of course, they have to learn much more. They have to learn to use this robot. I mean, think about, I mean, when you look at an industrial robot, if it has a complex task, I mean, the programming of this industrial robot takes half a year. Yeah? I mean, our programming of this robot takes 15 years. Yeah? Even, I mean, then you go and learn. Wherever you go, you have to learn something. But of course, you don't have to learn as much as a child has to do. Yeah? If you go into another business, you have to learn nothing. Yeah? Ask Hans, I mean, he has changed his business, his profession, 3 times. Yeah? Each time he has to learn anew. Yeah? And that's what we have to do. Yeah? I mean, a child, has to learn a lot of things, I mean, to use this body. I mean, see, when it comes out of the womb, it just lies on its back. That's it. It cannot even move, yeah? And then it starts to move the hands, the arms, the legs, and then it starts, to learn to walk, then it starts to learn to, talk, yeah? And then it starts to learn to think, yeah? It has nothing to do with the chitta, yeah? It's just like you're driving a Citroen and then go into a Mercedes, learn how to drive a Mercedes, and then somebody gives you a Porsche, and that is completely different.
It's the way to behave.
Yeah, the way to behave. Yeah, even with a car, you have to have a way to behave. Yeah, I mean, if you have a slow car, you have to drive behind other cars. Yeah, if you have a fast car, you can overtake them. But the moral principle is for a kid, If a kid tortures, other kids, yeah? I mean, that comes from previous lives. That's not innocent. It's not innocent at all. And they will receive the karma from this action. Because intention creates the action, yeah? Not knowing creates karma, yeah? Intention creates karma. And that kid has intention. But most of the kids that's why they are lovely, I mean, they're just, playing around, getting their body to work, yeah? And seeing, the reactions, especially of the elders, if I do this, what kind of reaction does it have on the others? And that is not harmful for the kid, yeah? But if it starts, some little boys, if they get a little sister or a little brother, I mean, they want to kill it, yeah? Because they want to be alone, they want to yeah, receive all the love, just for themselves. Yeah? So, and that is bad karma. And that comes from previous lives. Okay? The chitta is a chitta. The karma that creates, that creates this life, is the karma that creates this life, and that's why, some babies are angels and others are little devils. Yeah? I mean, it's everywhere, yeah? And even in the family, they are very good and honored people, and then you have your black sheep. Yeah? That does, something that is completely unimaginable to the family. Yeah? In 200 years ago, they were kicked out of the family. Yeah? That you don't ruin our reputation. Yeah? If it was an honest family. Yeah? So, I mean, doesn't matter. If you're a child, or if you're an adult. Yeah? The karma is created by intention. Yeah? If I want to hurt somebody else, because I don't like him, that creates karma. Yeah? No matter if you're a child. Of course, as a child, you cannot do as much bad karma, as an adult, who has all these possibilities of the body and whatever his knowledge. Yeah? You can ruin people with knowledge, when a child normally can only ruin other people, with his fist, And that, hurts for a while, and then goes off. Yeah? But the sharp tongue, of an adult, can hurt you for years, or even for life. Yeah? Okay? Understood? No matter who said it. It doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense that a child, doesn't receive karma, of its action. Of course, intention creates a karma. Yeah? But, most of the young kids, not all, most of them, have no intention. They have only the intention to get to know this robot, this biological. Yeah? Because it is a robot. Yeah? If you go in samadhi, nothing is gone. Yeah? The car doesn't drive on its own. Yeah? Oh, have you seen a car driving on its own? Yeah? If you don't...
Still no.
Huh?
Later.
Still, then you have to give in the coordinates where you want to go.
Okay.
But if the driver doesn't do anything, then even an autonomous vehicle, that recently killed actually a pedestrian, and there was still a driver behind it, and he was so shocked, when he saw. So these, if the driver is sleeping, nothing is happening. Yeah? If I don't give in, if you don't give in your GPS, the town that you want to go into or the street, the GPS won't give you any results. Yeah? Yeah? The same, if you hit the brake, it brakes. If you hit the accelerator, it accelerates. Yeah? If you don't do anything, stop. That's why it's called, biological robot. Yeah? But we think, yes, maybe it is amazing, whatever it can do. And every generation, it gets better. Yeah? Because we think just like with a car, look at the cars from 1900, and now look at the cars from 2018. There's a big difference. Yeah? So we develop over time, just like the chitta who creates this body, develops this body also. Yeah? It wants to do something, more, and then this thing is created. Yeah? It's not a God that creates these humans, or these forms. It's not. Yeah? But we don't know the power of the chitta. That's why we don't understand it and think, yeah. Okay, enough for today. Good. It's already long enough. Yeah? So, Martin, du kannst mir dann erzählen. Oh. That's pain. But that's pain afterwards. Not while.